was what I call a typical boy, like rough and tumble, loved to play roll balls with us when he was little. So he was a really late walker. That concerned me. Didn't walk until just before he turned 2. But his doctors just kept saying, oh, it's okay. I started to wonder if something was going on, because he's just real clumsy. I got a phone call from his teacher in kindergarten and said, while he was lined up on the playground at recess, he just tipped over, like standing still in line, and tipped sideways, and he hit his head on a cement wall. Thanksgiving-ish, he came down with what I thought was the flu. When the doctor came in to check on him, I said, you know, I've had concerns ever since he was young of some problems, like his balance has been off and just weird, and he's been clumsy. He walks into things, he trips and falls over himself. We spent a week in the hospital, only to come out to endless specialists, averaged around 8 to 9 specialists per week for 4 years. Nobody knew what was wrong. Nobody could figure out. They kept trying different med series, see if something would help his balance, because it kept progressing. It was definitely a progressive thing. It was getting to where his balance was less and less. Handwriting went from where you could write and read it to where it was not legible anymore in that time frame. And so we knew it was something that was progressing. They called us in after 8 months. It was right before Christmas. They called us, and she sat down, and tears started streaming down her face. And she said, I have an answer for you. She said it's ataxia with oculomotor apraxia type 2. There's just not very many cases. She's like, there's no research done. The little bits and pieces that we can find, she said, you need to understand that within 2 to 4 years, your son will most likely be in a wheelchair. He will not be able to be mobile on his own. We're gonna walk this road, and we're gonna try to figure out where we need to go from here, but we don't really know how to treat him. So I try to be really, really honest with him from the very beginning. So, Kai, listen, your muscles are wiggly. They don't quite work the way that your brain tells them to. It's gonna be a little bit harder for you to do some things, but you can totally do them. I think the hardest part was 2 years ago when he looked on his way to school and said, I think it'd just be easier if I went to heaven now, because I wouldn't have to take any medicine or anything like that. I'll just be running and playing just like my friends. And I'll be able to stand like they do, and I can kick a ball like they do. Randomly got a phone call one day from, I didn't recognize the phone number. Answered the phone, hey, I'm with Make-A-Wish, and I'm just calling to tell you that your son had been nominated and his wish is going to be granted. Kai decided Hawaii. You've always dreamed of surfing.
I wanted to see where my dad was growing up, and also see Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, we went to Oahu, and we were treated...
We got a big hotel room.
We did. We were treated like royalty. Did you think you were going to be able to surf?
Not really. I didn't think I could stand up that long on the wave surfing, but when I tried it, I got it.
And I was close into shore, and I was standing there and watched him. And I think that picture is just forever stuck in my mind, because I never thought that he'd ever be able to do it, be able to stand up on a board with all the balance issues and struggles to stand. And he was riding that wave, and the grin on his face was just priceless. It was this, like, I did it.
My legs and my shoulders feel fine, but at night, like after I get home from school, they're like tired. I could play soccer. I play on a team sometimes.
One of my favorite things is that God makes something beautiful out of ashes, and so as much as this story feels like such a storm and such a journey of struggle, today might be a struggle, but tomorrow's gonna be a new day.
Did Kai really catch that wave? or did the wave catch him? We like to think they both sort of came together in the middle of paradise, made possible by an incredible wish granted, and expressed with more courage, perhaps, than any of us might expect from a 10-year-old. Lesson for today: never underestimate the power of a wish to turn the toughest road into the ride of a lifetime.